The opinions expressed on this program is not necessarily those of the Emily Pearl Show, its sister stations, its affiliates, or its sponsors, but it is those of the individuals themselves who express it. While the Emily Pearl Show does take stances on individual issues, the show itself remains an entertainment platform. Free thought is a philosophy and not a policy.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Emily Pearl Show, live, virtually live, from a very famous place. Y'all ready to travel with us? Well, you know, I cannot travel without my co hostess of the Moses, Sybil Marie Presley. That's right. She's in the virtual studio with me. Hello, Sybil. How are you tonight? I can't see you. Oh, there you are. Can you hear me? Hello, Sybil. How are you tonight?
Hey.
Hello, you act like you couldn't hear. Could you scoot over in the center of your screen, please?
Yeah, I was trying to make sure my volume was down.
Okay. You get over in the center of your screen. That's better. I know you're virtually in Rome, but the studios are the same. Hello, Ernestine. Hello, Sandra. Thank you guys for joining us. We're getting ready to do a famous city, famous location. Can anybody guess where we are tonight? Will y'all type it in? Sybil, I know you know. Y'all go ahead and share the show, okay? Go ahead and share the show.
Hi, everybody.
Sybil, it's so good. It's so good to see you. Sybil? Sybil?
Yeah.
Where are your earbuds?
They're right here. I'm fixing to poke them in.
Okay. All right. I'm going to take you in the green room till you get them in. Because it seems like you cannot hear me. So you need the earbuds in, okay? All right. Sybil's going to put her earbuds in so that she can hear better. Okay. Ernestine or Sandra, can y'all guess where we are tonight? Where are we virtually tonight? I'm drinking coffee. Oh, Sandra has it. That's right. We are virtually live from Rome. And that is where we are going to be tonight. Sybil, you got your earbuds in now? Can you hear me better?
Oh, I can.
Okay. So Sandra
like an alien.
Sandra guess
I'm
where.
trying to find you on Facebook too. Trying to share the show.
Well, you need to pay attention right
pretty.
now.
Yeah, you look pretty with your hairstyle.
Well, thank you so much. Listen, so what have you been up to this week?
I'm just enjoying life and trying to get out, walk in the sunshine a little bit. Sometimes I walk up to Walgreens, so that's a nice little walk there and back. So just enjoying life and looking forward to seeing my family May the 8th. So counting down the days for that. And,
okay. So Tuesday will be your last show. Mm-hmm. Tuesday will be your last show with us.
Well, I'll have to look on the calendar. I'm not going to May the 8th.
Oh, I thought you were going next week.
No, it's May 8th. May's got to get here first.
So you got, okay. Then so you'll be with us. You'll be with us.
I was counting down the days because I hadn't seen my family
camera.
So long.
Okay, great. Straighten the camera. Thank you. Okay, Mary says, hello, everyone. I will be on and off. My youngest Sam is on the way to the ER. He's been sick since Monday. He took both COVID shots through Pfizer. So I will be on and off. Oh, Mary, my goodness. I am so sorry to hear that. Yeah, we got to pray for him.
I don't know what Pfizer means.
The COVID shots. That's the name of the brand.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah. They got a new one that came out today.
What is it?
It's a one shot deal.
Johnson. No, they paused it.
Well, it was on the news, the 5 o'clock news, that they're getting ready to give it.
Put it back.
Shoot people with it.
They've been shooting people with the shovel, and they paused it because people were having blood clots.
I know, but that was the 2 shots. This is a single shot.
No, it was the Johnson & Johnson. You got it all mixed up.
Oh, okay. A single shot Johnson. Okay, well, blood clots.
And they had been doing it for the past 3 weeks or so, and they stopped it last week.
Oh, I see.
Because of too many reports of blood clots.
I kept saying
how can you understand what I'm saying when you keep talking over me?
Well, I don't know. I guess trying to keep my ear thing from jumping out. They're trying to take off on their own. Get in there.
I said, listen, so that you can get this fact right, so you won't be giving anybody else any wrong information.
Well, okay, give it to me.
The Johnson & Johnson 1 shot was being given to people. They paused it last week because it was getting too many reports of people having blood clots. They have not yet decided, unless that's what you heard on the 5 o'clock news. They said they were going to try to decide by today as to whether or not they were going to put it back out there.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Okay.
Maybe that's what you heard.
Well, thank you for straightening me out. That's why I am not a private investigator.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know.
Thank you for straightening out the news.
Yeah, I kind of follow the news a little bit. Okay, so y'all ready to travel?
We are.
Well, we are, and we're going to take a break, and when we come back, it's going to be very short. We're just going to show our favorite eating spot, and then we'll be right back, y'all, and get ready
I'm excited.
Put your traveling shoes on.
The Cupboard Restaurant in Memphis, Tennessee is world famous for some of the best food and Southern hospitality you'll ever find, and is a celebrity favorite. Open from 7 a.m. till 8 p.m. every day. The Cupboard Restaurant is located at 1400 Union Avenue, 1 block east of Cleveland, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Got a large group? Groups of any size are welcome, and catering is available. While you're there, pick up a copy of Charles Capella's world-famous cupboard cookbook. Check out their website at www.thecupboardrestaurant.com. That's The Cupboard Restaurant, 1400 Union, 901-276-8015. A proud sponsor of The Emily Pearl Show.
Right, we're back just like that. Okay, let me edit your settings on your mic. Okay, I think that'll be better now. For some reason, it's
I
still
tried to
right.
find you on Facebook and it said show's gone.
Well, what page are you on?
I'll
What
find it.
page are you on?
It's out. I'm not on any page. It just says show's gonna. I'm on your Facebook page, Emily Pearl Show. It said it was starting in a few minutes. Then it said
Well, you need to
that it's,
refresh your. You
expired.
need to slide it down and refresh it because we are live.
Okay. If I
You have
don't
to
make any
refresh it.
comments, that's because of why. But
I'm telling you what to do, little lady, Missy. If you'll
I'm doing
listen,
it. I'm hitting
you
it.
have to refresh the browser. Just slide your finger down it and it'll refresh itself.
That's what I just did. I'll find it. So
All
let's
righty.
just go on, get the trip ready. I packed my peanut butter sandwich. I'm ready to go.
You packed one peanut butter sandwich and travel all the way through Rome. Go ahead, girl. All right, then. I love it. And of course, you got your structured water, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm drinking coffee at the nearest cafe.
Well, that's wonderful.
All right, then, y'all. So, Sybil, you're going to stay in the frame live while we do the tour this time. So
Well,
she's not gonna get away with not doing anything. We want to see your expressions, okay? So I'm getting ready to share now. Okay. Hold on, honey. Stop talking. Stop. I had to mute her. She just talking away. All right. We're going to do it this way. Okay. All right. We're coming in. There we go. Now I'm going to. Now we do have a tour guide on this one where she does talk, okay? All right. Let's see what 75 looks like. Okay. 75 looks good. All right, so let's let our tour guide continue talking. Oh.
During the reign of Emperor Vatican and his successor and son, Titus. In its prime, this largest amphitheater in the world had a capacity of close to 50,000 people. The Coliseum hosted the public killings of thousands of slaves, prisoners, animals, and entertainment facets. Only about a third of its original stone and concrete structure still stands, a monument to an empire, brave warriors, shocking violence, and later, a site of religious significance to many Christians.
Okay, so we can see, like she said, there are some original stones. And these would probably be the darker stones that's on the Coliseum. Y'all have seen all the Christian movies where they show the kings, would sit there, and then all the people would be inside. And then the movies, they really made it look larger than it looks now, doesn't it, Sybil?
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
That's humongous.
No, I
Can you hear
said
me?
in the movies. Yeah, I can. Yes. See my head going, yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, it does.
But I said that,
That's quite a structure.
but it looks smaller than it does in those movies. So let's go around and see. Okay, this looks like an original building. You can see the age of the stones.
Yeah, it does. The
You can
architecture.
You can see the Roman architecture still in there. They would carve
like
pictures.
That's pretty.
Here's a carving right here. A big concrete carving of. I think they use clay, a lot of clay. Wow, look at that. Okay. Okay, guys, I need y'all to comment about what y'all seeing. I know Mary's a good commenter, but Ernestine and Marcus, y'all gonna have to take Mary's place, because she gotta be in and out, okay? Sandra, you good at commenting. All right. You can kind of see some of the original stones, like here. It looks like here on the hill, there. And here's some more original buildings. It looks like back here, right here. These look original to me. Original stones. Can y'all see the darkness of them? Now, this particular site is not as clear as a lot of the tours that we've been taking, but we'll have to make do, because we can't do nothing about that. All right. And we get on back to the Coliseum. Now, what I would like to point out is, in the movies, when we see the pavement in the movies, Sybil, look at the pavement. It looks just like the pavement when they show it in the movies, doesn't it?
It sure does. Looks authentic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See that? Yeah. You can tell that's kind of original, because you can even see the grass in between. You can tell that it's been there for a while. Sandra said, what type of stones? I don't know, Sandra. Because I really don't know too much about construction. Your husband probably knows. They're good stones, I tell you that, because they last a long time. All right, y'all ready to take a peep into, wait a minute, we got another picture of the Coliseum. Okay, what we got here? We just got some pictures. Oh, there we go. Inside, y'all. We're going inside now. Wow. Those right up here, I'm pretty sure those are original stones. Right up there. Ernestine say, wow, all those stones. I know, right? And they built, y'all know they built the Coliseum by hand, right?
That's just amazing.
They didn't have machines back then.
And they look prettier
Look
than
at that.
people with machines.
Yeah, beautiful. Let's see what the top looks like. Oh, the top. Yeah, we know that's got to be original
Yeah, it sure
stones, it
is.
looks like. All right, let's see what else we got. What's going around? I was trying to see where the kings and queens used to sit. I think it's here, probably where those three windows are. I think that's where
I would guess
probably.
those three
I think that's
windows.
probably where. Yeah, probably where the king.
They had the best view that way.
They had. I think that's probably where they were in the center of it. Yeah. That looks like the center of it, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm sure
that
that's
is
where
the
they
center.
stay. It is.
Uh-huh.
They got the best seat in the house.
And you can kind of see here goes some more original barriers for the aisles. See right up here. See the original stones where they had it separated for the aisles.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Because they had steps. They had steps like stairs going down and up too, so people could get to those levels. You see, those are original. And then I'm pretty sure this part up here is original too. And we got the archways, archways. They are famous. And by the way, just a little history for you all. What does that say? Sandra say Bruce Lee fought Chuck Norris at a scene in Return of the Dragon movie in Rome. Really? Wow. By the way, y'all, just a little history. Did you know that Rome was the whole world for 1,000 years? They were in power for 1,000 years. They conquered, I've got a note on it. Let me pull it up. The Roman Empire was one of the greatest civilizations and most influential in world history. It began in the city of Rome in 753 BC, which means before Christ. And it lasted for well over 1,000 years, y'all. And then it says, during that time, Rome grew to rule much of Europe, Western Asia, and Northern Africa. And as we know, Rome was even over Egypt, because Egypt is in Africa, right? Mm-hmm. All right, let's take another picture of it. This is the Coliseum. We're looking at this one from a distance. This is like their streets, okay? Look like everybody has blue cars.
It sure looks like it.
So we're looking
I
at the
wonder how they found
Coliseum.
it. Be hard to find the car.
Everybody knows their own. And so we're looking at it from a distance, but this is an outside view. We saw the inside, but this is an outside view. And look at the archways. The archways was always the most, I mean, that was like their signature in architecture, archways. They loved archways. And that's I had saw a documentary once, and it said that the archway in architecture helps to hold the structures of floors. Like, let's see, they had what, 4 floors? Let me see. They had 1, 2, 3, 4 floors, levels. And in this documentary that I saw once, it said that the archway system was the best system to hold the the building because how large it was, how huge it was. That way they could put more columns in there. See, more columns to hold the building. And so that's a little something I remember from seeing a documentary. I like to watch historical documentaries. I mean, you would think that at 71 years old, my brain would be tired. My brain it has always been hungry, y'all, for knowledge. And I have what I call my long-term memory. Well, everybody has it, a long-term memory and a short-term memory, right? So I store everything that I learned about history in my long-term memory, so that if I ever come up on the topic of it or talking to somebody about it, I can just go to my long-term library in my brain and pull it out and talk about it, right? Okay, so here is, we saw that one. So I think we skipped this one. No, we saw that one. Okay. So here's another one. This is looking at it from a distance, okay? And when you look at the scenery around it, ooh, y'all, they go to palm trees that they use in biblical days to wave for their celebrations. Those are big trees too. Those leaves are huge, aren't they?
Yes.
So when you look at the Coliseum, really from a distance from the rest of the city, it doesn't really look that huge until you get up on it, right?
Right.
Now this one right here, let me go back to this one because we didn't do a panoramic view. I want to see what's across from it. Okay, they got lots of construction going on, looks like. They got tall buildings, but most of their buildings are from the ancient Roman times. They have done an excellent job of preserving their architecture. Look at this house. Wow. We have buildings in Memphis that's made on this style, several, don't we?
I've seen them. Sure do.
Yeah.
Can you hear me run my mouth?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you hear me because you answered. Yeah. Look at all those blue cars. These must be government cars because
I
they're
think they're
all the
special
same
cars.
color.
Because you look
Yeah,
on your left and there's different cars. So this is, I think it's government
right.
cars.
Out of two. Okay, let's see what this one is. We're still at the Coliseum. Okay, so this is a view from a viewpoint, it seems, where you can actually see inside it, down on the bottom part of it. This is part down here. This part down here is where they would have underneath in the basement, sort of like, it's where they would have the gladiators that was going to fight, and they had animals that they had. They loved wild beasts like lions and tigers, elephants, anything vicious. They loved it. And they would use them. Okay, now this is a nice view. It's from a difference. This is like it's the back side, yeah. But yeah, I guess when you measure it by the size of the people on the ground,
It's
I
big.
guess it's pretty big. Yeah, it is
It's
pretty
a huge
big.
structure.
It certainly
It's just not all that
is.
tall.
Well, it's 4 stories tall.
Well, I mean,
That's kind of tall for
it's
me.
not like the Empire State Building. That's why it don't look so big, but it is big.
Okay, on this one, we get a better look at the aisles, how they separated the sections with these things that they built. And now we can see a closer view of down the basement part where they would keep the gladiators would be, and the animals right down under there, you see. But in the Roman times, that was actually covered with clay, a clay floor, and then it was covered with the floor of the arena was all dirt, all dirt. Okay, and here's another view. Oh, that's pretty. Look at it from this view, and we see another side of it. And then finally, Sandra says, I have to get our comments in too. Oh, that's Ernestine. She said, yeah, they made a lot of movies there, Ernestine. You're
Well, they sure
right.
did.
Marcus says, beautiful. And Sandra says, wow. Okay, here's a good look at it, y'all, from another viewpoint. And we still have the same type pavement. But here's another view. And we can actually see the top a little better. Look at that. That was pretty high up, wasn't it, Sybil?
Well, that is, now that you zoomed in on it.
Yeah, it's pretty high up when you're...
Yeah.
It is huge. Yeah. Ernestine says, that's beautiful scenery. All right.
Sure is.
So now, let's go and look at the Vatican. We all heard about the Vatican. They made a lot of movies there too.
Vatican City is the world's smallest independent state and contains some of the world's most treasured symbols of Christianity, including Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel. From St. Peter's Square, the heart of the city, visitors can also view St. Peter's Basilica, the world's largest Christian basilica, capable of hosting 20,000 people, a 4,000-year-old Egyptian obelisk, and the papal apartment. The fountains of St. Peter's Square, built in the 15th and 17th centuries respectively, have been hugely influential throughout Europe. Visitors to Vatican City can also visit 11 museums and the Vatican Gardens, which span only 60 of the city's 110 acres. A glimpse at any of these sites exposes visitors to some revered art and architecture in the history of Western civilization.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. This is called an obelisk. And what it is really is just a tall monument. And that the Romans loved it. It's really Egyptian architecture. And the Romans loved it these tall monuments so much that they brought them to Rome. They even, took some from Egypt and brought to Rome. And what the monument meant, they did all of their trade by boats. They didn't have planes and trains, cars. Yeah. They had boats and ships. Excuse me. And what this obelisk stands for, I could say it's just a word, but that's a Greek word, obelisk. And what it is a monument. The Egyptians usually built one to their sun. They had a lot of them in honor and to represent and worship their sun god, which is Ra, which was called Ra. And then they also used them to celebrate pharaohs and different pharaohs, those living and those dead. So, and they had them during the Roman times, ancient Roman times. Egypt had them all throughout their city and country. So it was when the Romans came to Africa, came to Egypt, they were so fascinated by these tall towers of stone. And so they brought some of them and kept the tradition in Rome. Okay. Let's see. So this is Vatican City, y'all. This is where the Pope lives. Except this Pope doesn't live there. We have a modest Pope now. He didn't want to live in the big castle. Let's look inside. Okay. This is outside. As we can see, now we can see the building itself right here with a dome. As you can see, it's an old building, and they have kept some of the original stones. And as our tour guide says, this goes all the way back to like 14th, 15th century, this building does. Okay. So that's just amazing. Okay. But inside, wait till y'all see inside. And back in the Roman times, another thing about the Pope is that the Pope was over all of the officials of Rome. All of the priests in all of the countries, and all of the holy fathers, because there was holy fathers in France, there were holy fathers in Rome. The Holy Father was next to the Pope. So the Catholic faith, they had holy fathers in each country, but the Pope would be over all of them, and the Pope would be over the army. I mean, the precepts and the Caesars couldn't do anything without the permission of and blessing of the Pope. Even going to war, the Pope was the one that approved everything. So he was like kind of a president, I guess. But a lot of the countries began to rise up against the Pope because they felt that the Pope had too much power. And that's why the Pope today doesn't have power over countries and doesn't have rule over cities and states. But during the Roman times, the Pope was the man, y'all. Ernestine said, wow, interesting. That's right. Now, this is a look at the obelisks. No, that's the cross on the Vatican building. But you can see that's in front of the obelisk. The obelisk is in front of it. This is actually this is a different one, I think, because this one has a cross at the top. I don't think the other one did.
No, it didn't.
This one had, yeah, this is a different one. You can see this one has a cross on it, but it is another obelisk. So that means that this particular obelisk was probably there when Rome was first in power. When they, okay, there's an inscription. Let me see if I can see what it says. No, I can't. When I enlarge it, I can't see what it says. She says, "Oh, hi, Mary. How's your son?
Mary.
Type in, let us know. Let us know how he's doing." Because we were still giving up prayers while we was between thoughts and words. Okay, now inside, if you can see all of this gold, y'all. This is real gold. Real gold, y'all. And the Pope was, and the Vatican was the richest institution during Roman times. And guess what? It still is. The Vatican City is one of the richest institutions in the world. And nothing, that part has not changed, because after all those years, they still managed to keep their finances going. But you can see, again, the significance of the archway architecture that they love. See, archway. They even have the archways in the Vatican, in the building. There's some way back there, some more archways back there. In the background back here, archways, see? And there's a huge archway right here. So Romans believed in archways. Most all of their buildings, especially their important buildings, would be made with archways. And we have a brand of cookies in the United States that's called archway cookies, and I love them. Done
Oh,
ourselves.
yeah, they sure do. Archways are very good. Well, that must be some kind of Florida mop.
Yeah, let's want to look a closer look at the floor. It's all
Beautiful
marble.
floor.
It's all marble too.
And the
All marble,
designs,
y'all.
beautiful designs.
Oh yeah. You can look at some more of the floors all the way around. The whole floor is marble. I told y'all the Vatican building is one of the richest buildings, not only just in Rome, but in the whole world. In the whole world. And the Vatican institution itself is one of the richest institutions. And as you can see, they have their saints, certain saints enclosed to honor them within an archway. The saint, there's a saint here, I don't know who, some saint and a saint there. And they probably got them all throughout. There's another saint. There's another, what is that? Yeah, that's another saint, probably one that was persecuted. Any saint that was persecuted in the name of religion was always honored and remembered by the Catholic faith. All right. Here's another picture of inside. And it's just a different view, just to show you the beauty and the architecture. And this is the dome way up here. Y'all see the dome?
Yeah.
That's the one that the dome that you can see from that you can see from the street. Okay. So it's just another view. All right then. Ernestine says, oh, beautiful. Let's see. Oh, Mary. Let's see what Mary says. Mary said, just check in. And she was trying to help him by phone. She would keep us posted. Okay, thank you, Mary. And then Ernestine says about the Vatican building that Um, it was just beautiful, beautiful floors and beautiful artwork. Most definitely. So the Spanish Steps and the Trevi
Visitors to the
Fountain.
Spanish Steps and the Piazza di Spagna will ascend the widest stairway on the continent. Their ultimate goal, the Trinita dei Monti, a late Renaissance Roman Catholic church. These famous steps were conceived as the result of a design competition in 1717. Underdog Francesco de Sanctis took the honors. The freshwater fountain prominent in the square, the Fontana della Barcaccia, or Fountain of the Old Boat, predates the steps by about a century.
All right. So the Trevi Fountain, Spanish Steps. As you can see, she said that these steps were built in around 1700. And they're going to come back around in a minute. There we go, y'all. Look at those clean streets again. Looks like every country that we visit has really clean, shiny streets. And I don't know why we can't have clean, shiny streets like that. You know, it looked like they put some look like they put some mopping glue on their streets, don't they, Sybil?
It sure does. You can almost eat off of it, so clean.
Mopping glue, man. Man, if our city has some streets like that, God, I'd be so proud. Okay, so we're coming around to the Trevi Fountain. It doesn't look like it, does it? So this is a fountain that she says was built in 1700, y'all, and it still stands. Look at that.
Wow.
And there, the steps are behind the fountain. And that's a lot of steps. And you can see people enjoying the view, sitting down in front of the fountain up on the steps. It's a beautiful fountain.
Sure
Absolutely
is.
beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to get a closer look at the fountain.
One of the world's most recognizable fountains, Fontana di Trevi, has inspired visitors since 1762. Designed by Nicola Salvi to replace an earlier iteration, the fountain was built over the course of 30 years and completed after Salvi himself had died. This fountain features Neptune flanked by Tritons, attempting to tame a wild seahorse. Also featured in the fountain's design is a young virgin who, according to legend, discovered the site and led Roman soldiers there. According to yet another legend, if you toss a coin in the fountain, you are guaranteed to visit Rome again someday.
Wow. So we know that we need to toss a coin in the fountain, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
She said you'll be guaranteed to come back and visit Rome someday. So we could tell the people really love this fountain, and it has just mesmerized them based upon the crowd that we see. And so now we'll be coming around to the fountain shortly as the panoramic view continues. And as we can see, there are all types of culture of people there in Rome. Yeah, and they're just casually dressed. Because one thing about it, look like they got a lot of steps. Mary and I don't like steps.
They have a lot of steps. Yeah.
Mary says she loved the floors. Mary, we don't like steps, do we? Okay, here comes the fountain, and she says that it's about Neptune trying to battling with Triton. These were considered sky gods and trying to catch a dragon. So I'm going to stop it right there. And I'm going to bring the fountain in closer for us to be able to see it. Okay. So we can see Neptune and the dragons. All right. Can y'all see that?
Yeah, I see.
So this is Neptune. And I suppose this is Triton down here. No, I guess this is Triton, and this is Neptune trying to catch. Um, did she say I thought she said dragon, but it looks like a horse
Yes,
to
it is.
me.
Well, maybe it's a horse dragon.
Maybe so.
Some type of a dragon.
There he is again. It's a look like it's a unicorn. It has wings. A unicorn without the peak up there. There's some wings right here. See the wings
Yeah,
on the beast?
right.
So
Yeah, he don't have his cone.
I don't. But yeah, it looks like a unicorn. I guess maybe the way that they looked
Might have
back
lost
then. Let's see
might
over
have
here.
lost his horn.
I can't even make out what that is. Alrighty. Let's go to Piazza Venezia. Piazza Venezia, Piazza del.
Located in the city center, several of Rome's historic streets, is the Piazza Venezia. Located at the base of Capitoline Hill, one of the symbols of Rome and an early Roman citadel. From here you can see a trio of palaces, Palazzo Venezia, Palazzo Bonaparte, and Palazzo delle Aste, as well as Trajan's Forum. The piazza's prominent statue is a monument to Victor Emmanuel II, symbol of Italian unification.
All right, Italian unification. Let's stop it right there. See if we can zoom in and look at some of this architecture. Trying to see what this is.
Oh, that's a pretty fence.
Wow, look at that. The symbol says it's a pretty fence. Yeah, it's very thick. They definitely don't want people in there unless you're permitted to go in there. You know. So we'll pan around. There's your pretty fence, Sybil.
It is pretty.
That's. I believe that would be iron.
It looks iron.
Marcus says, very beautiful. And your comment will be up in just a minute, Marcus. There it is. And thank you so much. And let's see, is this Mary or Ernestine? Ernestine says, beautiful history. She's learning new things. Yeah, that's why y'all have to share our virtual travel. Okay, so now we're going to look at some photos of the Piazza Venezia. And so we can see the statue here. This is a statue of the man who the plaza is dedicated to. And as you can see, Rome was not spelled R-O-M-E. It was spelled what we say is S-P-Q-R. And that is the type of writing they use. I don't know just exactly the syntax, etymology of where it comes from. I think most of it is Greek. I think their writing comes from Greek culture. But this is a statue, monument of the Spaniard Roman. And back in that day, and during the ancient Roman times, y'all, they had all cultures that could be Romans. They had Spanish Romans, they had African Romans, they had Asian Romans, they had Persian Romans. They if the Roman was not a race, it was a civilization. a civilization, which means what? It includes all peoples. Okay, and I wanted to make that very clear because a lot of people think, based on the movies that has been produced down through the years and other things they may have heard or seen and reading about Roman history, people think that Romans were a race, but they were not a race. They were not a culture. They were a civilization. Because if they were a race, they would not have had Roman citizens of all cultures and races. They would not, definitely would not have had Black Roman soldiers, right? But they did. Okay. There's some guy on top of a horse, and that's another statue. And then there's some horses over here, looks like. They love their monuments and their statues, you know. And oh God, this is beautiful. Look at this. Let me see if I can get it at eye level and zoom in. This is they love their statues. Sculpturing is what they called it, And one of the most famous sculptors that passed through Rome that did a lot of work for the Romans was Michelangelo. We pronounce it as Michelangelo, but it's his name, he's Italian, and it's really pronounced Michelangelo. Okay. And this is another view of the piazza. Piazza Venezia from a different angle. Oh, there, now we can see those horses in really good. Let's bring them in. I guess this is showing the conquering part of it, okay? Whenever they did their wars. And it was, oh wow, I see an angel. I see an angel. Look at that angel.
Oh yeah.
You see that?
That's gorgeous.
A statue of an angel.
Very pretty.
Holding her halo. She's holding her halo. See that? Let me see if I can enlarge it. See, she's holding her halo. Yeah. Can you see?
I see.
Isn't that gorgeous?
It's beautiful. They sure were talented in creating statues.
Oh God, yes. And they got beautiful gardens, as you can see. This is the back view of the Piazza Venezia. And this is a different view of the same. Oh, we saw that one. Okay. All right then. So we've seen the Piazza Venezia. Okay. And the piazza, that means plaza, y'all. So these are plazas, and they're piazza is Italian for plaza. So here's the Plaza del Popolo. The Piazza del...
Located at the city's northernmost entrance, formerly the Porta Flaminia, lies the Piazza del Popolo. This is where three famous Roman streets intersect: Ripetta, Babuino, and Corso, forming the Tridente. It's also where you'll find the twin churches, Santa Maria di Monte Santo and Santa Maria Miracoli, as well as Santa Maria de Popolo, home to some of the world's most famous paintings and sculptures.
I'm glad that she corrected me on my pronunciation, Popolo, because I say Popolo. Popolo. Okay. Now, I try to get some of them. You can't get all of them right if it's not your language, So we're going to let this do a panoramic view, and then we're going to look inside the building, okay? inside the building. Look at this. Oh, this is inside the Piazza del Popolo. No, this is outside the plaza.
Piazza del
Okay.
Popolo.
Yeah, this is another view from outside. A lot of wide open space, you know, for people to gather. That's really nice. And where's this other pictures? Oh, other pictures. Oh, here they go. This is one I was trying to get. This is inside one of the churches. And these are just pictures, so they don't panorama. These are just pictures. And this is a picture of another church. You know, if you notice, she named 3 churches, right? And that's just a distant view of the Plaza Popolo. But as you can see, there's another obelisk there. They appears to have obelisks in all of their plazas, right? Okay. Now we get,
Once an architect's private residence, today the Villa Borghese is a sprawling 148-acre public park, home to the Galleria Borghese and the Borghese Garden. Many notable works are housed at the estate, from ancient to Renaissance to modern art. Just some of the artists whose pieces are featured here include Raphael, Rubens, and Bernini. Among many other attractions, the gardens, architected in the English landscape style, feature their own square, temple, and zoo.
All right. We're going to look at one more thing, and I'm going to be happy to see that one because I have read a lot about this particular site, and it is called the Pantheon. All right, and then we're going to close. Now, cut this trip short. We got to go on.
Along with the Coliseum, the Pantheon is one of ancient Rome's most famous structures, built during the reign of Emperor Augustus before 14 AD and rebuilt during the reign of Emperor Hadrian 26 AD. The Pantheon originally served as a temple to the gods of pagan Rome. More recently, the Pantheon has served as a Roman Catholic church. The building is meticulously preserved, showcasing the world's largest reinforced concrete dome in the rotunda, magnificently ornate oculus, and trademark columns.
Yeah. And she's calling them columns, but we know that they're obelisks. They have a obelisk there, and they have one. They have a cross at the top of this one. We're going to take a quick look inside the Pantheon, and then we're going to, not that one.
The Parthenon?
The Pantheon. Pantheon.
Okay. Pantheon.
That's not the one. Pantheon. That's the Greek word. Okay. We're going to take a quick look at the ceiling. And as you can see, you tell the touch of the Roman architectural style just by looking at it. And what did I do? Okay, there we go. These are the columns that she was talking about. Now, so I stand to be corrected. I thought she was calling the obelisk outside the column, but these are the columns. Roman architecture had a lot of columns. And you can see large houses today that are built on the style of Roman architecture that has columns. A lot of houses that has columns. Now, this is the picture of the fountain. This is the Pantheon, the fountain at the Pantheon. And inside, one more quick picture. We can see kind of like inside. They've got the artwork and stuff that she was talking about. That's very valuable. Two more large columns. And the Padre della Patria. That would be probably a Holy Father that this particular area of the Pantheon is dedicated to. All right, so y'all will have to come back and finish the rest of our tour of Rome on another day, because I'm telling you, Rome is a very exciting place.
It is.
And it is large, and it's a lot to see. As we can see, the internet is slowing down. I'm going to go ahead and close this window so that it can get back to normal speed. Okay. All right. So, Sybil, did you enjoy traveling tonight?
Oh, this was wonderful. And I want to say that you make an excellent tour guide. I
Thank you.
enjoyed your remarks
Thank
more
you.
than the woman that was already recorded. I think you passed her up.
Maybe I should look for a job as a virtual tour guide, huh?
Oh, well, you did a wonderful job being a tour guide. Spoke nice and clearly and pointed out interesting things and just talked almost nonstop.
Let me get this back on 100 screen of the studio so I can put the comments in. Ernestine says, beautiful history, learning new things. And she also says she loves seeing new places. She'd never seen Rome before, so she enjoyed the trip. Well, thank you. I'm so glad you did. I had seen some places of Rome, but I did see some places tonight that I'd never seen. Like, for instance, all the piazzas. I had no clue that Rome had that many plazas, you know. And that's probably just only a handful of them. They probably have piazzas all through the city, because I know that in front of the precept in the government buildings where the precepts and the Caesars were, they had a big plaza, because they didn't have newspapers. So they would have this guy that would stand in the center up on a obelisk, and he would tell everything that was happening, of what had happened, of what was going to happen, by yelling.
Wow.
By yelling to the people in the plaza, you know. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So
He
it
was
was
a
like,
newscaster.
yeah, he was like a newscaster, only
Storyteller.
with paper and mouth. Yeah. And so
They must have great
it's
acoustics.
I imagine so. Back then, people they didn't have automobiles or industry that would make noise. It's like being out quiet in the country, because if you know that you're, and because I've noticed that when you're out in the country, and a long way from the city, you can pretty much just talk in your normal voice tone, and it just really kind of travels really good because everything is quiet. Mm-hmm. So we want to thank you guys for joining us on our tour, traveling to Rome. Okay. Mary says he will be okay. Strep throat. Thank God, nothing worse. Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
Of course,
Praise the Lord. No, that's not fun either. You got to get his tonsils out, Mary. As soon as they get well, have his tonsils taken out, okay? Because I used to suffer with sore throat, strep throat all the time growing up as a child and a teenager. And I made myself a promise I say, as soon as I get grown and get me a job with some good insurance, I'm going to have my tonsils taken out because I don't ever want to have another sore throat. So in 1973, I guess I was in my late 20s, mid 20s, probably. Yeah, early 20s, actually, because my son was born in 71. So in 1973, no, 76. In 1976, I was working for the federal government. That's right. And I had some good insurance. And I went and had my tonsils taken out. And I'm telling you something, this is the God gospel truth. I have never had a sore throat since 1976, and I'm 71. So if you don't want sore throats, people, you have got to get those tonsils out of your neck, out of your neck, out the tonsils in your neck.
They're right there.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And see, I'm going to tell you something. It's best that you get them out young, because the older you get, the harder it is. Because I'm going to tell you something. I suffered. I had a hard time for recovery. And because at that time, I guess I still snore with my mouth open. You know, I'm laying in this hospital bed, and they have the hospital room so cold. I was breathing in cold air, and that, although they say that I've always heard ice cream is supposed to be good for tonsils, but it wasn't good for mine, that cold air going in down in there, because that was the first time that I ever had pneumonia. And the second time that I had it was just recently. Was it this past what was it, Sybil? What month was that? September, because it was Labor Day. Yeah, it was around Labor Day weekend. And that was a communal pneumonia. That means I caught it from somebody, and somebody could have had walking pneumonia. That I had gotten close to.
Catch pneumonia. I didn't know that.
Oh yes, very contagious. Very contagious. It's just like COVID. And so anyhow, up until September last year, I had not ever had pneumonia. But the time that I caught it in the hospital, which came from having my tonsils out. And so but other than that before 1976, since 1976, I never had my tonsils. A sore throat, y'all, never. So get the tonsils out. And I had my son's tonsils taken out, y'all, when he was 8 years old, because I did not want him to have to go through, as a teenager and as a young person, the same trouble that I went through, because I suffered. And I couldn't stand having sore throat. And I didn't want my son to go through what I went through. And so my son hasn't ever had issues with having a sore throat. It really pays to get your children's tonsils removed. They're not there for anything anyway. So, what do you know about tonsils? And then we're going to close.
Well, if you can get tonsillitis with them, and
yeah.
I still got mine.
Have you ever had sore throats?
Way back when I was a child. I haven't had many sore throats.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Well, I really think it's kind of genetic. I really think it's a genetic. I think that's a genetic trait. And so since I had trouble with mine, I wasn't going to take a chance with my son suffering, because I didn't want him to go through that. It was awful. I mean, it looked like every other week I had a sore throat. It was pitiful.
I'm glad y'all got your tonsils gone. They call it
Yeah, I'm glad I
10
got grown. I'm glad I got grown and got a job and had good insurance. Matter of fact, on that site insurance is when I had my son's tonsils taken out as well. And I also had him circumcised. Whole thing, he was in there for both things at the same time.
But
He
he
was
got
hurting up here.
both ends taken care of.
Yeah, I did. Well, the doctor said it didn't make sense to have to admit him twice.
Yeah, just go ahead and
Since
do
it
it.
was already there, just go ahead and do it. He said it wasn't gonna be that hard on him because he was so young. And it wasn't. He just zipped right through it, man. Well, Sybil, your closing remarks, because I have been talking as a tour guide, and I've also been talking about tonsils. So now
Well,
you talk.
I enjoyed the tour and the medical report and everything. I think you did a fine job, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in. So we'll get together Sunday for Talk About Angels, and then again Tuesday.
That's right. That's right, y'all.
We're going on another trip Tuesday.
We'll be going somewhere off Tuesday. Mary, think you might be interested in where we're going on Tuesday. So you might want to definitely be in. And I want to thank our loyal fans, Mary, Ernestine, Marcus, Sandra, and to the rest of you guys out there. But those are just our top fans. And to the rest of y'all, I know y'all are watching. Y'all just not in the comment column, all right? Okay. Sometimes y'all comment. I think they don't have time. I think they're actually watching the show while they're looking at TV or something and kind of in between, you know. So I understand. I know how it is. But the good thing about the Emily Pearl show and all of our shows is that you can replay it back anytime at your convenience. Okay. So as we say when we close the show, to all of my pearls in the listening audience tonight, a pearl is defined as a precious thing. It is the finest example of something special. So it doesn't matter whether you are rich or poor. You, my pearls, are a precious thing. You are the finest example of someone special. All right. And as we say around here in the Emily Pearl studio, listen, don't hate them, congratulate them. And if you deem it and mean it, I promise you, my pearls, everything good that you do will what's about
come back to you.
That's right. And that's our time. We will see y'all on Tuesday night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.